Welcome to PlayPSVR, the podcast, episode 40. So here's a good bingo story back in the day, Alex. So my grandfather was, this is so strange. My grandma used to have garage sales, and my grandpa had to set up a booth across the street from my grandmother's garage sale because he sold pornography tapes and memorabilia. So my question to you, Alex, is how many X-rated garage sales have you had?
I've not had any X-rated garage sales. I have X-rated garage sales stories. We have one referred to as the Little Ninja story. I'm not going to get into it now, but it just ended with the quote, "Oh, you're touching it. You're touching it. Oh my God, you're touching me. You're touching me." And that's about that. But no, I haven't had any.
It was great. He had, I was a little kid. I didn't really understand, but he had tons of porn tapes. He had this hat that had foam boobs on it. And what?
What was your grandmother's logic like? Like, I don't want this porn touching my stuff, but I do want to sell it. I don't want to near my stuff, but I want it to be visible.
The only thing I can really, I was young. The only thing I can really think of is that my grandma was like, "Ed, that's disgusting. It's not going to be at our garage sale." But my pap was like, "Well, I guess I've used these tapes up, so I need to get some more. I might as well sell the old ones." He was a trucker, so really, I guess it doesn't really surprise me that much. No offense to any truckers out there. I'm just thinking.
They go through a lot of footage out on the road, man. They go through a lot.
Oh, that's right. It's that podcast. They've got porncasts. Anyhow, so we have a packed episode for all of you tonight. We've got several games to talk about. The second segment, we're going to cover some of the video game reviews that we've done in the past that we're most ashamed of. We wanted it to actually be an entire episode because it's really funny, but there's just too much lately, and we're afraid we'll never get to it. It's been on the tip of our tongues for weeks, so we're just going to go ahead and do it. So reviews that we gave essentially too high of a score that we wish we could go back and change it. And then we're going to end with some sales, a Tetris Effect giveaway, and the always beloved Airing of Grievances. So that's where we're at tonight. Where do you want to get started, Alex?
Adam, you know where I want to get started, baby. We are going to get started with our gamer juices. So I'm going to break us into this. My gamer juice tonight is, I always go for some kind of energy drink or something because I'm a man who is constantly exhausted. If you could see my face right now, you'd see the bags under my eyes. They're deeper than my nose. But what I got tonight, I'm going back to the clinic. I'm getting myself healthy and good. I got a Monster energy drink, but it's not just any Monster energy drink. This is a Monster Rehab. It's going to rehabilitate me from my weary ways into an energetic monster for this podcast. It is flavor tea, lemonade, and energy. It's an energy iced tea. So say bye-bye to the carbonation, Adam, and say hello to the flavor, hello to the fun. Monster Rehab tea, energy, lemonade. And here it goes down the hatch.
Down the hatch.
And it tastes just like lemonade. So no surprises there, but I'm going to be bouncing soon. Adam, how about you? What do you got?
So I've got a Bai Bubbles antioxidant drink that is blackberry and lime. So very little sugar, no calories, all natural. I like sparkling drinks and I love fruit. I'm a fruity guy. What can I say? So that's my gamer juice for the night. Looking forward to it. I'm also real thirsty. So I'm ready to pound this bad boy down and talk about some games. First of which, you want to talk about
Whoa. Pump the brakes. Adam, usually you tell me what your drink, your gamer juice is good for. You're always telling me that cranberries are good for the prostate. I don't quite agree with that, but we're going to go with it. Adam, what fruit are you drinking again, and what part of the body is it going to benefit?
Well, it's blackberry lime.
Okay.
And so blackberries prevent THO, and lime is always good for that scurvy when you don't, when you're at sea and you don't get enough vitamin C.
I don't know what THO is, but I'm glad you told me.
Stands for titty hard on. It's real cold where I'm living. It's snowing today. I'm not used to it. Just moved from Florida. Now I'm up north. My nips are blasting. I could cut ice. Yeah, but not tonight. Not with this. Not with these blackberries.
Not with these blackberries. By virtue of their juices alone, you softened up the nips. Okay, yeah. So like you were saying, our games of the week, we're going to start off with Transpose. All right, we had a guy guest review this game for us, so you can read on our website. Solo from Solo Vision reviewed Transpose for us. You can read his review. He and I have slightly different opinions, so I'm going to kind of go off in a different direction from him. But needless to say, Transpose, I was absolutely delighted from the get-go on this game. I'm going to tell you right now, within the first 3 hours of playing Transpose, I was ready to declare this my game of the year 2018. So let me break down a little bit what Transpose is like for you. Transpose is a puzzle game where you act out a sequence of events and you record yourself while you're acting out those events, and then you can accept that recording and then move through the level again and record another sequence of events while interacting with the previous recording of yourself. Kind of confusing, right? Let me give you an example. And say an example would be that you start off on a platform and you walk to the edge of the platform and there's a box. You grab the box and you look up, and on the ceiling there's a goal that the box has to get in. Now you can try all you want to throw it and get it in there, and there's a very slim chance you'll make it. But you also see that there's another spawn point on the ceiling. So what you can do is you can walk to the box, throw the box straight up in the air towards the ceiling, and then just let it fall back down to the ground and keep that recording. And then you can change your spawn point. Now you're spawning on the ceiling, you're walking on the ceiling, and you walk to where your character threw the box. And as you see your previous recording throw the box up in the air, you can now catch the box, therefore interacting with your previous recording, and then just walk the box over to that receptacle and place it. So it gets real mind-bending real fast. It's a very simple example. Needless to say, it gets a lot more complicated. But the thing that I love about this game is how meditative it becomes. I think this game shows a real, I don't know, it expresses like a sense of maturity almost. It's really weird to watch yourself working through a puzzle. You're literally watching yourself working through the puzzle and trying to understand the mechanics of the level that you're in and trying to solve the challenge that you're coming across. And in doing that, watching yourself, grow up from this infantile understanding of this level you're in to a more mature and complete understanding of the world that you're now in, you have to have patience, and you have to sit there and watch yourself grappling with these challenges. And then sometimes you're watching yourself, multiple versions of yourself interacting. You see yourself understand a little bit more and more and more as you ultimately come to the conclusion of each puzzle element level. And, that's kind of highbrow and highfalutin, and it sounds kind of pretentious. I'll admit it. But I'll be damned if I just didn't have the best feeling. Like, I felt so good about myself, and I felt so happy for the rest of the day. Every day I woke up and played this game for about an hour, I would just have the best day, because it's there's this proverb, and I don't know if it's Buddhist, it's some kind of meditation proverb, but the idea is you should treat yourself like a person that you want to take care of. Treat your future self like a person you want to take care of. And so when I would approach these levels, I know that whatever I'm doing in my recording, I'm going to have to deal with that behavior. So I need to, be swift in my action, but also considerate in my action. I can't just throw the blocks around willy-nilly. I got to throw the blocks so this can be easy for myself to get it later. I need to set the blocks in good places so my future self can grab it. And I would even at times stop and wave to where I knew my future self was going to be standing. And that was, I charmed the pants off of myself playing this game, walking around and then looking and waving at myself and then waving at myself with my other recording. Anyways, yeah, so the gameplay is great. The aesthetics are fantastic. It's kind of a sci-fi aesthetic. I likened it to, like, what if Superhot met Rez in terms of aesthetic? On top of it, you got this, like, really nice, like, low-key sci-fi music that is really good to listen to while you're trying to think about stuff. I've asked the developers to get, a soundtrack to it so I can listen to it while studying or working, because it's a puzzle game, and you got good music to help you think while you're trying to solve these puzzles. It's fantastic. The puzzles get complicated, but they don't get so complicated that it's frustrating. I think they struck a really nice balance in this game, making sure that you don't get too upset. And there's also, I think, you can solve the puzzles with brute force in a sense, like I said, throwing a block to try to land it in the goal with just accuracy, or you can, really think things through and try to make it easy on yourself. I like having both approaches because, some of these things, I feel like I don't have enough mental strength to solve the puzzle clearly, so I just kind of brute force it by throwing things around and banging things against walls. Transpose, it's put out by Secret Location, which are the guys who made Blasters of the Universe. We love that game, and I really love this game. I don't think it's getting enough praise. I wish there wasn't an embargo so I could have hyped it up as it was coming out, but yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. Adam, I think you would love it. You like Superhot. and you say you don't like puzzle games, but you like Static a lot, and I think this is more mind-bending than Static. It's a great game. It's like $20 too. What a deal. This game is taking me like 8 hours to beat. I dig it. I dig it so much, and even after I beat it, I'm going to enjoy working through these worlds with myself and enjoying these worlds with, 8 clones of myself, and it's just going to be me times 8 partying with myself. It's going to be so wonderful. I love it. Adam, do you have any questions for me about Transpose? I know you're going to be skeptical, and you're probably going to hate it right off the bat. What do you got for me?
I mean, you've tweaked my interest, and yeah, I've seen a little bit of the gameplay. It looks awesome. I'll give you credit there. You're right. I'm not a huge puzzle game fan, and yeah, I love Static, and that's just because it was so freaking clever. Every little detail was so clever, and this very well may be too. I've just been burned by so many other puzzle games like Never Out and Torn and ESPER and all these other games that are just simply not fun. That I'm not skeptical of you. I'm skeptical of puzzle games and how much I really enjoy them. And especially after I talk about Tetris Effect here, I mean, I must be the hardest man to please in the entire world. That's all. I don't know. So if it goes on sale, I may, try to pull it, because Solo did say that he liked it, and according to his review, he also enjoyed it. He doesn't like it as much as you do.
I want to say something. He gave that game a 7, and we've given some games a 7 that are way worse than this game. Personally, I just want to say it's not going to go on our website, but I would have given this game like a 9. I was debating giving it a 10 in my first 3 hours, and the only reason I'm not going to do that is because there's some glitchy stuff that happens on towards the end, and then I start to realize that this game isn't necessarily for everyone, and that beautiful meditative sheen wore off after a while. But yeah, a 9 I think is a very fair score, 8.5, something like that. But yeah, Adam, I might buy this game for you because I want you to play it, and then I don't want you to feel bad if it's not great. And also, if I buy it for you, you're kind of forced to play it. Like, I should have bought Stunt Kite Masters VR for you. We'll talk about that later.
But, I mean, yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know. And like I said, you piqued my curiosity. You like everything. Unless it's really bad, you like everything. So I can't really trust you.
I don't think that's a fair thing to say. We'll talk about that when we talk about games we regret, Adam. We'll see what games you liked that are terrible. But let's move on. How about you talk about Tetris Effect then?
Okay, so this could go on forever. Right off the bat, I don't know what's going on. I mean, everyone, you've seen my streams. You've heard us on the podcast. I could not freaking wait. I waited. I took a nap after work on Thursday, and then I woke up at midnight so I could play it right as it became available. I played through the entire journey mode, and I was disappointed. I don't know what it is, and I'm starting to get angry. I'm just going to tell you, because I played through it all, and there were, aside from the first 3, so the third ritual, passion ritual, or whatever it's called on the demo, that level I don't like. But the first 2 I really enjoyed. For whatever reason, that second level on the demo, Pharaoh's Code, I am like obsessed with. I love that song and the visuals. I think that's my favorite level in the entire game. I don't understand it. I know that's definitely different and no one else has that opinion, but I love those 2. And then all the way, the rest of the 24 games or levels I hadn't played, there were only 3 levels that made me like, whoa. The rest of them, okay, like maybe they were cool, but I wasn't impressed. Like, it didn't tickle my fancy. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I was just like, yeah, this is cool, but like, I found myself wanting to hurry up and just make Tetrises or whatever so the game was over. Like, I didn't enjoy it that much. I didn't think the visuals were great. I thought the songs were bad. I didn't think it was very good. And the ending, the last mode or the last level in journey mode, I wasn't impressed with. And then I read all this, and everyone loves it. Even the levels that I think are trash. Like, there's one level that's like the city, and there's like jazz music. I mean, that sucks.
So, Adam,
people love it.
I played that level and I totally dug it and I really enjoyed what was happening. But the whole time I was playing it, I was thinking to myself, man, if Adam is playing this, he is absolutely hating it right now. He's hating
Oh,
it.
really?
And I had the same thought about the third level of the demo that was like I don't even know how to describe it, the like chanting level that they had in the demo. I think it's like the fifth level in the actual game. I knew you were going to hate that. And then I knew you were going to hate this jazz level. I thought it was cool, but yeah.
I mean, I don't see what people see in it. And it's very aggravating to me because I want to call it out and be like, for me, I don't, I mean, I guess it's just the way it is. I regret buying it. Like, it's not a $40 game. It is what I originally said it was going to be, which is Tetris. And they put a few pretty aesthetics on it. And some of the levels are awesome, but it's not worth $40. And so if anyone, unless you're a puzzle fan or a Tetris fan, I would advise you don't buy it. Wait for a sale. And even then, I'm probably, now I feel obligated to play it because I paid money for it. But if it weren't for that case, I would not play this game anymore. I would move on to something that's actually VR. And I hate saying that. I mean, I wanted this game to be fantastic. I wanted it to be a top 5 game. I didn't sit down and actually write out, but it's not even a top 10 game for me. And I know there's a buttload of content. I haven't gone through all of the effect modes. I like the fact that you can get avatars, and for whatever reason, I really like that, and I'm going to play it more just so I can get the avatars and be the little astronaut and all the different fish and stuff. But I don't know what it is, Alex. I really wanted to like it, and I'm not going to like it because I want to like it. I'm going to be honest. I don't like it. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what to tell you to make you like it, Adam. I've also played it. I stayed up when it came out, and I played through about half of the journey mode, maybe a little less than half. I only played for about an hour. My criticisms of it are, like you said, some of the songs are hit and miss. I think a lot more of the songs are hits than misses. This is the same issue that I had with like Lumines in the past. Was not all of the songs in Lumines are great. Not all of the levels were great, in my opinion. But I think Tetsuya Mizuguchi really goes for a variety of styles, so that there's a little something for everybody. The other criticism would be that there are some levels that I wish would just be I wish the levels in general would be longer. And I guess you can get that if you play expert mode, but I don't have the skills to play expert mode. I wish I could play the levels and set my own limit for how quickly it would change levels. Because there's some songs I'm getting really into, and before I know it, bam, we're doing a different level. Like the desert level, where you start off in the desert and then you go off onto the moon and the music just gets great. I love that. But it was over in like 2 minutes or something like that. So that's the disappointment for me. And I know there's probably like endless mode. I can play these levels as long as I want endlessly, or I can set like a playlist or something. But journey mode is the easiest way to jump in and play. Like that's the meat of the game for me. And I wish that the levels would be longer. That being said, I've grown up playing Tetris. I love Tetris. I never think that I'm going to have a fun time playing Tetris, but every time I get a new version of Tetris and I start playing it, I get addicted and I just play it nonstop. Last time it happened with Tetris DS, I lost so many hours of my life playing Tetris DS, it's just Tetris, man. It's a great version of Tetris. It's just Tetris. Now you've added the style and the synesthesia of Tetsuya Mizuguchi's games to Tetris, and I don't know how it can get better for me personally. Yeah, I haven't explored the effects modes. That's going to add some longevity to the game. They have like those, really extreme modes where it's super fast. I don't know if I'm ever going to get there to where I'm going to enjoy that. They also have relaxing modes and practice modes and just a variety of different ways you can try to play this game and experience this game so you can get the most out of it. So my advice to you maybe to get your money's worth out of Adam is to explore some of those modes. Maybe there's a little nugget in there you can find like one of the meditation modes or the peaceful modes, and you can play 2 or 3 songs that you really like, and then you can really enjoy it. Because, when I played Lumines and there were songs I didn't like, I would play just the songs I liked, and I could play it for hours on end, nonstop, on repeat, and I would get in the zone, as the game says you do, and I would start feeling the Tetris effect. So there's going to be that for you. Maybe you'll get your money's worth that way. And then on top of that, there is the global gameplay mode that they have where you get the avatars and you fly around the world. And there's something that Mizuguchi kind of has in all of his games where he kind of wants the world to feel like a one world. Everybody feel, to quote the song, we're all connected. And I don't know. Maybe Mizuguchi doesn't care about me, but I feel like he really does care about me when I play this game and I listen to the themes and the songs and the overall effect that he's gunning for. Do you think he knows who I am, Adam?
He probably does.
Yeah.
I mean, I know who you are, and
Right. So
if I do, he surely does.
Yeah. So when I play the game and I feel like he's talking to me, I'm probably not too far from the truth. Yeah. So Adam, I'm sorry that you didn't enjoy the game as much as you expected to. And there's sometimes you start a game out and you don't like it, and then you keep hammering away at it, and you find that little nugget, that little thing that gets you excited. Maybe perhaps look into playing new styles of Tetris, like trying to do T-spins and stuff like that. That's really added a new wrinkle to Tetris for me, is that like score tech. Oh, crap, I almost forgot to mention it, Adam. That's why you don't like this game anymore. We played the demo. We had a high score competition, and guess who won? It was me. You busted your sweet little butt trying to get a high score in this game. You got 61,000 or something like that. Adam, you hate this game because I stomped you. I crushed you. In the 3 days that we had the demo, I got 66,000 in 3 levels, and you cried and you whined and you gnashed your teeth, and now you want to throw the game. You want to take the ball and you want to go home, Adam. You're not going home, buddy. You're not going home. It's my ball now, baby.
Technically, that guy's Will won, by the way.
He was not in the competition, and you know that, Adam. You know that. How dare you?
I may or may not have invited him to be in it, and he got 71,000. So technically, he won. I got to give him a shout out. That is an absurd score, and I know there's like people in Japan or something playing the game getting 140,000. I don't know what's going on there, but of people I know, Will, he got 71 or 77,000, something that just blindsided me. I have no idea how he did it. My hat's off to him. But Adam, I'm talking about you and me, baby. This is a dance between you and me, and I stepped all over your toes, man. I stepped all over them toes. You had to go home. You had to clip your toenails because they're all bent and crusted because I crushed them. I crushed them with my score, man. My toes are crushed. But okay, so a couple other things I want to bring to your attention. So the first one, the only saving grace of this game for me is that it's in VR. If I bought this and it wasn't VR, I would have been ticked. A complete and utter waste of $40. No doubt. I would have been infuriated. VR does add a lot to it, in my opinion. So it has that going for it, if you're considering buying it. Second thing, so I thought maybe I played the journey mode really late. Maybe I was too tired. Maybe I wasn't in the mood or whatever. So I was okay, let me play it again today and see if when I'm more well rested and maybe there's a different outcome. I played maybe 7 levels and I don't understand. People are talking about, I like the desert level. The desert level is pretty cool. One is the dolphin level.
Mm-hmm.
I'm I don't understand. Why do people like it? Or you mentioned you like the windmill level. So I played that one again today, and I know you said you liked it.
Mm-hmm.
And other people had mentioned they liked it. So I was when I went in, I really wanted to focus on the visuals and what was happening in the music because I thought maybe I had just missed something because it was so late last night. And I didn't. I think it's cool that they used gears instead of boxes. And I don't, what do you see? And I don't understand what you and other people think is so cool, not only about that level, but all these people. Someone's saying that I don't know if you've gotten there yet, but there's a level with jewels. I thought that level was straight up stupid, and people love it. I don't understand, what do people like about it? Is it because it's different and maybe my expectations were so grand that it just didn't match up? I don't know. I don't know what people like about it.
So I think what might have happened was the demo came forward with 3 levels that were really musical. They had that connected song that everybody was clamoring for. They should not have put that in the demo because that's what everybody wanted to hear. We would have all bought the game just to hear that song and level. And then they put in that song, what's it called? Pharaoh's Zone or Pharaoh's Code that you absolutely love. And then they had that third song that, it's a song. You didn't really like it, but it's a song. But what I appreciate about the windmill level that you're talking about and some of these other levels is that they're not so much music. It's just almost like an art piece. Like I'm playing Tetris. I'm going to be playing Tetris no matter what happens with the visuals and the sounds. And I don't necessarily need to have a song to enjoy all these levels. So I like the windmill one because it, like you said, it just kind of does something different. And it's something I wouldn't expect to have happen when I play Tetris, and it kind of changes up the pace. And so I enjoy it for that. Yeah, it's not musical, and I don't want to hear what's going on there outside of the game necessarily. And so I think maybe you approached all these levels as like, oh, here's a new song I get to hear, and oh, this song sucks. Whereas I approach the levels like, what's going on here? What is the theme here? What sounds are being made? What do the visuals look like? What's happening as I progress through this level? And I enjoy it for that. But I don't begrudge you for being upset. You know, they really presented this as like we're going to listen to songs and play Tetris. And really what's happening is we're going to play Tetris while stuff happens around us and themes start changing and there's variations on those themes.
And I think some of the levels they're like somewhat similar. I don't know. I don't know. I also think it kind of sucks. It's smart for them. And I think it just is something that, like you said, it happens to be that the two levels of the demo, the first one and second one, I love. And so in my mind, after I played through 27 of them and I only like 5 of the levels, and in the demo they gave me 2 of the 5, I was like, okay, well, they put the best ones in the demo, and then the rest of the game to me is a big disappointment. And I was like, well, that kind of sucks, because you're right. I played the demo and I was like, okay, my freaking life is about ready to get turned upside down. And then it's not that case whatsoever. So that may also be something that led me to my disappointment.
So I just kind of went on a rant there and talked about how these levels aren't like music, but I do the one thing I can kind of advise you towards, Adam, and I don't know if this is going to be fair advice because we're both busy dudes and we don't have time for this, but you know, one time, the first music CD I ever bought, I had a favorite song on it and I listened to that, and then I listened to the rest of them and I hated them. And I remember asking my dad, can I go return this CD and get my money back? Because I hate it. And my dad gave me the advice. He said, you know what? Just keep listening to it and you might be surprised. And now it's one of my favorite CDs ever. I like all the songs on it. It's fantastic. And so my advice to you is, yeah, you got the songs that you know you like. Enjoy those. But maybe play through the levels a couple more times, like maybe hunt for some trophies to some degree, or try to get like a certain rank in each chunk of the journey mode. And you might be surprised at what levels come around for you. Like you said, you kind of blasted through everything. If I blast through a music CD my first time, I'm going to miss out on stuff that I really enjoy later on if I give it another chance. So, you know, like you said, you were tired and you've kind of given it a fair shake, but we're only scratching the surface. Mizuguchi's games have a lot of depth to them in terms of experience and enjoyment. So I bet you'll find more to like. And, you know, like you said to me earlier, you loved Pharaoh's Code so much and you were like, is this what other people think about music? Like, people get on with music like this? Yeah, and sometimes it takes a little bit of effort to get on with songs and music. So, again, I'm disappointed that it's not an immediate click with you. I understand where you're coming from, but there might be some hope out there. So give it a little bit of a chance. Maybe try to get some trophies. I wish I could motivate you to do a score attack with me and like a challenge with me, but you're just going to lose, and you know you're going to lose. So that's kind of out the window.
Dude, so even today when I replayed some of the levels, there were a lot of them. I was just like, there are only 30 lines where, you know, in the demo you had to go to 36. And I just wanted it to be over. Like, I was just getting lines just so it would end. Like, that's how bad it is for me. So I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna keep playing it because I paid $40 for it, and I have to now. That just sucks so bad, so expensive. That's the sucky thing about video games. They're so expensive, and yeah.
Are you crying? Are you crying right now?
I might cry. It's effing bullcrap. F this stuff, dude. F all of it. So I'm only gonna buy games that are scary, and that's it. That's the only freaking games I like are scary games.
Enjoy Paper Dolls, you big turd. Let's put a button in this, Adam. By finishing this one last topic that I wanted to bring up with you, we did a puzzle episode on what are the best puzzles for PSVR. Now we have 2 great puzzle games in my mind: Tetris Effect and Transpose. Where you didn't play Transpose, you don't get to talk about that one on this list. Adam, where are you putting Tetris Effect on the puzzle list? Top 5? Top 10?
Well, for Adam specifically,
yeah, for Adam.
Tetris Effect is the most overrated game on the PSVR. So
really, the most overrated.
Yeah, give me another game that might. I mean, it had such lofty expectations, and I dislike it so much. Like I said, I was rushing through the levels to get them over. I mean, even Skyrim. Like, okay, some of Skyrim I hated and I thought was stupid. And okay, they didn't tell you some of the controls that were a really big deal, but like it held up better than Tetris Effect did. Where are some other games that were?
Moss, what do you think? What was more overhyped and overrated, Moss or Tetris Effect?
For me, it would be Tetris Effect. I could see why people like Moss. I would play Moss again.
All right, another one. Stunt Kite Masters or Tetris Effect?
Well, I guess we'll find out soon. But I have yet to play Stunt Kite Masters, so I can't answer that one.
Okay.
So anyhow, to answer your question, I mean, I don't even know if there's 10 straight up puzzle games. I mean, I Expect You to Die, I think, is better. Static, of course, is better. After what you're saying, Transpose is better. You like Salaryman Escape. That one I would even put over Tetris Effect at this point. But of course, it's going to beat like Never Out or ESPER. I don't know if you even want to consider Blind and Torn. I guess those are puzzle games. I would probably rather play Tetris Effect than those. But, I mean, it's pretty low. Tetris Effect is. Transpose, I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to listen to the other people and what I saw. That one, I think, is probably between Static and Transpose for the best puzzle game at this point.
Okay, yeah. I haven't played enough Tetris Effect to decide between it and Transpose. I would definitely put Transpose as my favorite puzzle game that I've played on PSVR. Give me a couple more, hard sessions with Tetris Effect, and I might have a better judgment. But right now, Transpose is at the top of the list for me. Tetris Effect is probably going to land somewhere top 5. There's not that many puzzle games, so probably top 3. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Maybe, when I get to the end of Journey mode, I'll have the same feelings as you, and we'll both just commiserate in how much we hate Tetris Effect. But moving on, I want to talk about one last game, and we can keep it short and sweet because this game is kind of short and sweet. It is Starbear Taxi by Funkatronics Lab. I believe that's their name. They were kind enough to give us a code. Thank you, guys. This game is only $5, so you don't have much to risk if you're going to try this game out, monetarily wise. The game is very simple. It's controlled with one move controller, and you hold down the trigger to have a little UFO controlled by a bear fly. And what you're doing is you're flying from platform to platform. You're in like this sky city, almost like Cloud City in Star Wars or something, and you're flying from platform to platform, picking up little bears and flying them to the other platform. And you control it by tilting the move controller. So if you roll the move controller, you'll fly left or right. And if you tilt it like a flight stick, you're going to fly forward and back. And it's got like an inertia-based gameplay to it. But that's the entire game, is you're picking up these guys and you're delivering them kind of like a really small diorama version of Crazy Taxi. And every time you pick a guy up, you get a little time boost. Every time you deliver a guy, you get a little time boost. There's going to be enemies dropping down. They shoot missiles at you and stuff like that. And you got to dodge those because if you get hit, that takes away some of your time. The game's real simple. I played it for about an hour or 2 hours. I streamed it some, and I got about half of the trophies that are out there. I might try to get all the trophies because the game was really frustrating when I started off, and I was kind of pissed off that they picked a control scheme with the moves because it's like if you can name one thing that is the worst thing about PSVR, it's that the move controllers don't track that well. And this is a game dedicated on move controller tracking. However, you get used to it. The game is real sensitive, so you got to be careful, and you got to fine-tune your motor skills to fly around in this game. It's not immersive VR, Adam. You're not first person or anything. You don't feel like you're the bear flying around on UFO. But the game's really simple, and it's got a lot of charm to it. I like the style to it. And, after about an hour, I kind of felt like I wanted to play more. I hate to say it. You're going to hate this, Adam. It was kind of a Stunt Kite Masters effect where I started off being then after a bit, I kind of want to just dive in there again and see what else there is, see a little bit more there is. Oh, there's also a bullet. They call it bullet heck mode, which is kind of cute, where you're just flying the UFO around and dodging these bombs that are thrown at you and trying to collect little pots of honey. So the game's really simple. You can watch our stream on it. I'll write a review of it. I'm not going to give it a stellar score, but for $5, and it's probably going to go on sale at some point for even cheaper, you can do a whole lot worse. If you get 2 hours of gameplay out of it and you had a good time for $5, that is a great value for your money. I enjoy the game. It's cute. You got to have a move controller. You got to be willing to handle the sensitivity of it. So it's got a little bit of a learning curve to it, but I enjoyed it. So Starbear Taxi, that's my impressions of it. I'll write a full review later. You can see it on our website. But yeah, maybe watch my stream, get an idea of it. It's cute, it's cuddly, it's friendly, it's fun, not complicated.
Just a game that you would like. Cute, cuddly, and I guess not scary. What a total wimp. I knew you would like that game, so I gave it to you, you sissy boy.
Thanks, Adam. Thanks for looking out for me,
You're welcome, bro. So I think now's a good time to take a little break. Catch up. I already drank my gamer juice, so I need to go find something else to drink and suck down the rest of the episode. So in the second segment, we're going to cover some of the games that we've given scores to that we wish we could take back. And, of course, it will be some gesturing and making fun of each other for our horrible, horrible rankings on a couple of these games. So stick with us, and we'll see you on the other side of the break. This is segment 2 of PlayPSVR, the podcast. So, as mentioned earlier, we've always kind of wanted to do even an episode or at least a segment of older reviews that Alex and I had done in the past. And, I mean, obviously, as reviewers, you make mistakes. We're not perfect people. We apologize. And so, in the beginning of PlayPSVR, we had never reviewed games before. And especially that early of the organization's, I guess, infancy, I hadn't played a ton of VR games. There hadn't even been a lot of PSVR games. So it's kind of hard to get a good footing on, oh, this game is a 5 or that is a 9. Like, you don't know what a 9 looks like. And so we've made some mistakes. So we're here to rail on each other, talk about the games that we effed up, make some amends, and I swear, if you talk about Stunt Kite Masters, I'm going to lose it. It's not as good as Alex says it is. Don't trust him, but we're here to cover some of our worst reviews and possibly defend ourselves as the other person destroys them. So, Alex, my favorite one of this whole segment is this. You had this idea for Conrad the Kitten, that you were going to play the game, and you were going to do each day, you're going to play it and have like a journal, and that was going to be your review. So from day 1 all the way to whatever day, it was going to be you progressing in your relationship with this cat, and I guess maybe as it gets bigger or gets more new toys or whatever. You did one day. You didn't even finish the review. It doesn't have a score. It doesn't have final thoughts. It doesn't have a conclusion. It's just like one random day of a play session you had with the stupid Conrad the Kitten. And that is it. You fool. Like, that's bad. At least mine, okay, I may have rated them poorly, but at least I did a review. You didn't do anything, you freaking cutts.
So what I gotta defend myself a little bit on Conrad the Kitten, the review. I did have the idea. I wanted to do a diary of it because it was a different kind of game. They recommended playing just a little bit at a time. But what I'll say is I played 2 days of Conrad the Kitten. But the second day I realized, wow, I'm just doing the exact same thing I did yesterday and nothing's really different. And I'm kind of getting nauseous because the game relies on you reliably making a setting that they can call the floor, and you sit on the floor and you play with this kitten on the floor, but the game wasn't able to track where my floor was, and so like it thought I was like way shorter than I would be, and I couldn't reach, like it thought I had like these stubby arms, so I like couldn't even reach the cat to pick it up. Sometimes I'd be like holding the cat and it would like fly out of my hand and across the room, then I can't get it. And some of the games were just like ridiculous. Like the games would require intense amounts of tracking, and then the whole world would start shaking because I would lose my tracking, and I would get very sick and very nauseous playing the game. And I was just, I didn't know what to do. I wanted to like this game. They're trying something different, and kudos to them. They've updated it. They've added a bunch of stuff to this game. But like when I first started playing it, I wanted to do this diary. I wanted to love this cat, but I couldn't handle it. So, yeah, you got me, Adam. You got me.
Dude, and the thing is, the journal idea was a good idea.
Yeah.
You just didn't do it.
Yeah, because pages 2 through 7 of my week-long journal about Conrad the Kitten is filled with cat poop and barf. I couldn't do it. I couldn't. Maybe I should go back to it now that it's been updated. I can try to play it again, but I got so much other stuff on my plate now that I'd rather do. I should maybe give it its proper due. It's not terrible. It's just at the time I couldn't stand it. I couldn't stand to do more. Yeah, that's why there's not much more about it. I was trying to be nice. Adam, I want to hit you up. This is maybe the most glaring, the worst score you've given. We got other ones we're going to talk about, but the worst one. Pop-Up Pilgrims, an 8 out of 10. Listen, man, I reviewed this game on my own for a different website, gave it like a 5, and I feel like that was too generous, man. Pop-Up Pilgrims, an 8 out of 10. Honestly, Adam, I think you didn't even play this game. I asked you about the music. You were like, what about the music? It's not the music. It's like the best part of the game. And I didn't even hear the music. Did you play beyond 2 levels of this game? Because if you play beyond the first level of this game, you realize how shallow and awful and mind-numbing and really incredibly frustrating this game is. And you gave it an 8 out of 10. Let's think about other games we've given an 8 out of 10. Let's see. Solo gave Transpose a 7 out of 10. I think you probably gave Super Hot an 8 out of 10. I bet you gave Stifled an 8 out of 10. So okay, we have Pop-Up Pilgrims on sale for $5, Stifled on sale for $8. What are you going to buy? Obviously, Pop-Up Pilgrims is rated. Come on.
Okay. So this is bad. Okay, this is bad. But to my defense, this was really early on. This was maybe one of the first 3 games I ever actually gave a numbered rating to. So,
hold on. If that's an 8, what are you?
Okay.
What's the whole rest of the scale for?
Okay, this is bad. I'm gonna admit it's bad.
It's the best game I ever played.
Oh, okay, it's bad. It's bad. Okay, the game is bad. You're right. The game's. I would think a 5. I think a 5 is fair. Nothing about it is broken. It was a clever idea. It just wasn't that much fun, and that was the biggest problem with it. It was just boring. And so I think a 5 is accurate. But you're right. An 8 is pretty bad. I don't really know what else to say. It's just it's bad. Like
it might have been the highest score you had given a game since we started giving scores.
No, I've given 9s. I've given 9s.
Now you've given 9s.
And I've definitely given 8s.
Adam's PlayPSVR top 10 list. Number 1, Resident Evil 7. Number 2, Pop-Up Pilgrim. And number 3 would be Conrad the Kitten if I bothered to give it a score.
Oh, okay. Okay, so that one's bad. That one's probably, you're right. That one's probably my worst one. Actually, can we change these now? I guess there's no reason why we can't, right?
I don't want to do it because VR Game Critics has that list going. I don't want to mess with that.
Oh, too bad. Okay, so this one is a little more controversial that I'm going to make fun of you for because I'm not even going to really make fun of you for it. I just want to – I find it a little suspect here, buddy, and it's also tough because I haven't played it, so that also – it's a little unfair for me judging you. But you want to give Transpose a 9, but some of the other games that you would give 9 to is like Moss, and I gave The Persistence a 9, Resident Evil 7. I have a hard time believing that Transpose is as good as Resident Evil 7. Like, it's not a glaring, it's a huge issue, but that's like, I don't know, dude. Is it really? If you had to sit down right now and play Resident Evil 7 or Transpose, you tell me you're going to go with Transpose?
When I review games and give them a score, I factor in a lot of things. One of them is bang for buck. So how much money am I spending and how much game am I getting for that money? Transpose is 20. Resident Evil 7 was 40, I think, when it came out. The other thing is I don't really care about time that much. You know, if a game is short but it's packed full of goodness, that to me is better than if a game has good moments and it's 40 hours long, but you know, a lot of that 40 hours is spent walking around Skyrim.
Yep.
So time, the thing I like about VR is I can get a full, really great experience in a short amount of time if I want to. So, Transpose, it's not as long as Resident Evil 7. There's not as much content as Resident Evil 7. But what Transpose has offered me is something that not many other games have ever offered me. I think there's some games similar to it, but Transpose gave me an experience and affected me in ways that no other games really have. That's why I got to give it a 9. It was really something special, in my opinion. Now, Adam, I know you're going to play it, and you're probably going to give it the almighty 8 out of 10 if you play it. But
the highest score I give.
That's my defense of Transpose. I feel no problems giving it a 9, and when I review it, I'm going to give it a 9. But Adam, speaking of almighty 8 out of 10s, I also want to bring up the Run Dorothy Run. You gave an 8 out of 10. So Adam, is this a Pop-Up Pilgrims 8 out of 10, or is this a Moss 8 out of 10 for Run Dorothy Run?
Okay, so this one I at least can defend myself a little bit because the game really is good. There's no issues with it. It's not boring. It's a little bit on the shorter end, and the price was, I mean, if you remember in all the sales,
it's like $30. It was
$30, and I mentioned that in the review. I said that you shouldn't buy it unless it goes below, like, at 15 or less. But I'm going to say, especially now that Beat Saber, I mean, it's coming out soon, but we didn't have Beat Saber, so it was the best, like, music game we had for a long time. Even, like, Audio Beats, and, I mean, now Electronauts is out, but at the time it wasn't. Like, it was the best music game we had. An 8, okay, it's probably a 7. So that's not as bad.
$30 you're getting. I've seen what Run Dorothy Run is, Adam. It looks like a game that you play on your cell phone.
Well, you didn't play with the move controllers, dude. It's fun once you play it. It's one of those games that I know you would like. But you're right. I'm assuming you're not buying this for $30. I told you don't buy this at full price. And now it's not full price.
Well, okay, I can review every game. Okay, you know what? Pop-Up Pilgrims is an 8 out of 10 because I can get it for free sometime. Maybe one day somebody's going to give it to me. 8 out of 10.
There it goes. There you go. Let's do it. Boom. Let's give it a 10. 10 out of 10.
So for a game that you gave an 8 out of 10, you never seem to really talk about it beyond sales. And then the sales, you're like, it's not cheap enough yet. It's not cheap enough yet. 8 out of 10. Like, that's a good game. That's a good game, man. That's all. In the library of PSVR, to me, that's almost like a must buy. Like, you got to get this game. You got to try it out. It's an 8 out of 10. That's so good. But, okay. Hey, you know what? You defended it. Come at me. Clap back. Okay,
so I like Run Dorothy Run, okay? It's an 8. Okay, that's high. Probably, it's really a 6 or 7, probably. Now, it's also just so interesting because it just in general, it's tough because back then, I still think it wasn't an 8, but back then it was definitely a 7 because there wasn't as many games out. Now, anyhow, so the Walker, you gave the Walker a 7. So I watched the game. I even was in there. You shared the screen or shared the game with me so I could experience it with you. There's no way that's a 7, dude. It is so one-dimensional. It's predictable. After you play through 4 levels, then it just redoes. I think maybe it was more than 4 levels. But whatever it was just a stereotypical wave shooter. It was really boring. It just straight up, it wasn't that good. And it was just so one-dimensional. A 7 seems pretty high. It's not a glaring mistake. It's not as bad as my Pop-Up Pilgrims. Nothing is going to beat that Pop-Up Pilgrims. I effed up. That's just all it is. But I think the Walker is a little high. I think it would be a 5, maybe.
So I have to admit defeat in this argument. I gave the Walker way too high of a score. I don't know what was going on in my life at the time. I don't know what. I think somebody might have been poisoning my food, giving that game a 7 out of 10. I think I was just enamored. The game looks pretty good. Like, did you see the wrinkles in the dude's hands that you control? It looked like my hands. I thought it was really my hands. No. So, okay. The Walker, I thought it was a fantastic tech demo, and I really liked the parts where I really felt like I was standing on like a street corner in China, and that was is the immersion right there. And at that moment, it completely nothing to do with gameplay. Felt really cool. Now, the game, like I said, it's a tech demo. The gameplay was incredibly simple, incredibly one-dimensional. And to a degree, it was even broken because half of the gameplay elements weren't even required. And there's 3 enemy types. Okay. And the game, I think, was $20, maybe $25 when it came out. That's an absurd price. If I have to admit any review that I regret giving the Walker a 7, especially because after the Walker, we got Drone Striker, which I think I might have given it a 6, and it was $10 when it came out. Drone Striker is a much better game than the Walker. It's much more highly recommended in my eyes than the Walker. I feel bad. I apologize to our fans, to our listeners. I apologize. Mom and Dad, I'm sorry I gave the Walker a 7. It's an embarrassment, not only to the website, not only to my name, to our family and our family's honor. I'm sorry I gave it a 7. So much so, I regret this because when I post our reviews on Reddit and people read them and comment on it, somebody said, "Oh yeah, you're the guy that gave the Walker a 7. That's why I can't trust what you're saying." I think I might have done more damage to our website and our reputation by giving the Walker a 7 than you did by giving Pop-Up Pilgrims a damn 8, Adam.
That's right. Let's go.
No, okay. In hindsight, I think the Walker 7 might be more egregious. No, it's not more egregious than Pop-Up Pilgrims for an 8, but I would probably give the Walker a 5, maybe 4.5. The Walker is better than Heavy Fire, so maybe I'll give the Walker a 5. But Adam, I'm just going to throw this one out there real quick. I just want to laugh at you for calling. Okay, first of all, in January of all times, you're like, I got Game of the Year 2018. It's Cold Iron. Listen, Cold Iron is good, but you're going to call Game of the Year 2018 in January? Yeah, I get it. You hadn't played any games in January. First game you touched, well, you might have played Pop-Up Pilgrims in 2018. Are you sure that wasn't Game of the Year 2018? Cold Iron.
Okay.
Not Game of the Year 2018. This is not the game I want to rail on, Adam. I just want to laugh at you for that.
Okay, but calm your titties, because I don't know. I think on Reddit I said Cold Iron is the best game out this year. I didn't say it's the game of the year, because you could say in March, oh, Moss is the game of the year, meaning that even though a bunch of games are yet to be released, Moss is going to be top dog. I didn't say that with Cold Iron. I just said, of the games released in January or in this year,
games released in January.
Exactly. Of the games released in 2018, Cold Iron is the best. And I got so much flack. You know, that's why you're bringing it up. People on Reddit ate me alive. Mm-hmm. Like, come on. Okay, maybe it was kind of chintzy to say that. But, like, come on. Like, technically I was right.
I think we've both, swung a bat and dinged our reputation as reviewers, with Cold Iron Game of the Year 2018. In your defense, honestly, Danny Weisenberger gave it a great score. I think he might have given it an 8 or a 9 out of 10, which is a great score coming from him. So yeah, we both kind of did some damage with games. Game you didn't really give damage for, but I find it really perplexing. Okay, let's think of the games you scored a 9. We're talking about Persistence. We're talking about Resident Evil 7. What's another game you're going to score a 9? Super Hot, you probably give that a 9. It's that good. Maybe Res Infinite, you might give that a 9. And the pantheon of the great PSVR games, the all-timers, if you had a Hall of Fame, we're going to Resident Evil 7, Res Infinite, Super Hot, Preda Vendetta Rising. What the hell, Adam? Preda Vendetta Rising, you gave it a 9 out of 10? A 9 out of 10. This is a game that the developers came out and said, listen, we know we screwed this up. We know we messed this up. It's too grind heavy, and we're sorry. We're too broke to fix our broken game. And you still gave it a 9 out of 10? What were you thinking, man?
Did
somebody touch you?
Not unwantingly, if that's a word. I think I F that one up. Anyhow, so here's my thing with Preda. Literally, the only thing wrong with the game is that it is borderline unbeatable because it's so long. You're right. You're never going to beat this game unless you don't have a life and you spend way too much time on it. That is literally the only thing that I think is bad about the game. The graphics are wonderful. It's more fun to play than Moss. It has great controls. It's great. And I gave Moss an 8, which I think, and I will still defend my 8 rating of Moss. And because I liked Preda much better than Moss, I had to score it higher. So maybe looking back, I could have very well given Preda an 8, but I mean, it's a good game. If you haven't played it, I think you should. Just know that you're never going to beat it.
I think that if you're going to rate a game and say the only reason it's bad is because you're not going to beat it because it takes too long, in my mind, if it's a 9 out of 10, you're going to play that game to completion because it's so good you don't care how long it's going to take, man. Resident Evil 7 was kind of a lengthy game when you really look at it, but you don't care because it's so good. It's so good you want to keep going. Super Hot could have been 100 hours. I would have beat the crap out of that game if it was 100 hours long. Preda Vendetta Rising. You play the whole game in 15 minutes, then you just repeat. I bet I've put in 20 hours, and I'm not even anywhere close. Like, there is no...
What?
You're not anywhere close to having a life.
Exactly. And so, like, it's just so unfathomable that I mean, I'll never beat it. I know I'll never beat it. I think that is what you're bringing up is a very fair criticism, and that's why quite possibly it should be lower. But I will say that of the games that I've very poorly rated, that one I think has the most, I guess, justice to being a high score. I think at worst it should be an 8. There's no way it should be less than an 8. But I think probably 8 is a more fair rating. I mean, it's just as good as Pop-Up Pilgrims.
So let's flip this on its head real quick. I know we didn't discuss this, so we might have zero answer for this, and that's wonderful audio. But Adam, is there a game that you think that maybe you rated too low? Like you gave it too low of a score? You were too harsh on?
Ooh, I would have to look back. I mean, it's so tough because a lot of this is subjective. So, like, to me, I think a rating of 8 for Moss is, if you look at the grand scheme of all of the reviews and what most people think about it, I think that's low. I mean, not tremendously low, but I think that's probably one of the lower scores that it got. When I rate Tetris Effect, I mean, Tetris Effect is getting 100s and 90s. I'm going to give it a 70. Or a 7, whatever, out of the score. And so you and I are both going to play it, and we're going to average them. So I'm going to guess you're going to give it a 9. I'm giving it a 7. So I'm going to guess that composite score will be 8. But that's going to be low, and I'm sure some people would be upset by me giving it a 7. And I know that's looking into the future. Let's see. I don't know. Anything that comes to your mind that I've done or that you wish you would have rated higher?
Do you not regret giving Detached a 6.5? Because I think you should regret that. I think you as a person recognize that you were wrong.
I certainly don't, and I still think the game is boring as balls, and I still haven't finished it, and I won't finish it. I'm going to finish Preda before I finish that game, because if I wanted to finish it, I would sit there and stare at the wall or a leg hair or something because it's boring as sin.
Okay. Well, other than that, I don't really have any games that I regret rating. They don't bother me too much. If I give a game a low score, it's probably because it pissed me off, and if it pissed me off, I'm not going to feel bad about it. So that being said, Adam, let's move on. We got a lot to talk about today with regards to new games. So coming this week, the new games coming out is nothing. Nothing is coming out. I just went through the drop. We got nothing coming out this week. That's disappointing. Last week.
Okay, but I want to interject here. So. Is it bad that every now and then I'm kind of glad that new games don't come out? Because we get hammered, and we've been hammered of late. Like, now we get a week where we can catch up. You can play to the effing top. Please play to the top. I can play a little more Tetris Effect. We can, get into it. We have a week to catch up.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm happy to have a break, especially going into holiday season. Who knows what's going to be coming down the pipe? Actually, we know what's coming down the pipe. But yeah, ever since I've been gaming, I've wished the game industry as a whole would just hit pause and not release games for a whole year, so that I could just catch up on all the games I want to spend more time with. It's never going to happen, and it's probably a good thing it's never going to happen. But yeah, I'm glad nothing new's coming out. And the empty spot this week just means I'm going to have some time to play some of the games I need to get to. And one of those games is Deracine. It came out this past week. I bought a physical copy at GameStop, woot woot, and I'm going to play through it. Adam, I think you're going to hate this game. You hate girls. You still think they have cooties. You hated the Invisible Hours because you thought it was too adult and mature for your tastes. So I just don't want you to even think about this game. Don't worry, buddy. I got you covered. I'm going to play it. I'm going to tell you about it, and you can enjoy it through me. So I'll be playing that this week, but other than that, nothing's coming out. But like I said, something's coming down the pipe. We got some news, and that news is that Beat Saber has finally been given a launch date for PSVR.
Drop me a sick beat.
You dropped yourself a sick beat. I was going to drop you one, but you took it away from me. Anyways, Beat Saber finally coming out November 20th. So get ready. Is that after Thanksgiving? Thanksgiving, I think it's right before Thanksgiving. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is the game you're going to want to show, apparently, people at Thanksgiving parties. You get all your friends to come over for Thanksgiving. You say, don't go see your family. Come over to my house and play VR instead. Mom and Dad, watch me. I took my shirt off because I'm getting so hot. I want you to watch me shirtless. Play VR. Play Beat Saber. We can't get custom songs, but that's okay. We're getting Beat Saber. Everybody loves it. I'm excited to play it November 20th. So be on the lookout for more information about that. And Adam, do you have anything else you want to add, or are we done with this segment?
So we're about done, but I have one question. So here's the thing. Me disliking Tetris Effect, I am so, I don't know what to do. Should I buy Beat Saber? Because I was like, there's no way I'm going to dislike Tetris Effect. And sure enough, I should have followed my gut. Because if you remember early on, weeks before Tetris Effect was released, I was like, dude, it's just Tetris. And now I'm sitting here and I'm like, dude, I was right. It's just Tetris, and I regret buying it. So now it makes me skittish. You think, is Beat Saber a game that, I'm not a huge lover of music. I don't like Electronauts. I understand why people like it, and I'm on board with them liking it. But for me, that's not a game I'm even remotely interested in because it's so music-based. And so is Beat Saber going to be. But so, I don't know. Should I be anxious buying this? Or do you think for almost everybody, this is a go ahead and pre-order it because it's going to be a title everyone needs to have?
Beat Saber, more like beat a dead horse. Adam, you gave Run Dorothy Run an 8 out of 10, and you're talking about should I get Beat Saber? You idiot. It's the same game, except one of them's good and one of them's bad. Yeah, get Beat Saber. It's gonna be great, you big idiot. All right, let's end this segment. I'm tired of railing on you. Join us after the break. We're going to do our airing of grievances because Adam's getting all worked up over here. I can see him. He's sweating. We're going to do a quick shout out, and then we are going to talk about some sales. So join us after the break.
Welcome to the third segment of PlayPSVR, the podcast. And I have some big news, especially for you, Alex. Well, the day of reckoning has come, and I actually owe you an apology, Alex, because how many weeks, months have you been trying to get me to play Stunt Kite Masters VR? Do you know?
It feels like an eternity, Adam. I feel like it's become a crucial epic of my life.
Exactly. Well, that chapter is about ready to begin. Or end, I guess, depending on, what chapter you're on and whether it's a new chapter when I play it. Because there's been, I'm going to call it technicality, but there's been a little issue that I, and also you, have overseen. So the whole time we've been saying, once we get 15 reviews on iTunes, I'm going to buy the game and I'm going to play it. Well, I made the mistake in which we didn't realize on iTunes, if you actually write a review, it doesn't get added to the star rating. So there may be, we may have 15 ratings of people actually hit 5 stars. So I have 15 of those. But if we have another 5 written ratings, technically we have 20 total ratings. But for some reason, when you write a review, it doesn't add to the star. I don't know. It's weird like that. So actually, we've had over 15 for a long time now, which I didn't realize. And so I should have played this game a lot earlier.
How convenient.
That's right. It really is. And I guess since Tetris Effect hasn't, done it for me, right now is the perfect time to play it. So anyhow, we have plenty of written reviews. So now, we got over 15 ratings. So it's time, boys and girls. It is time. I have to pony up. I've got to play Stunt Kite Master. So on one hand, I want to say thank you for the support, the written reviews, all the feedback you guys have given us, not only just on iTunes. I know people listen via the website, via Stitcher, or the other podcast hosts. I know people listen in all sorts of ways. And so we appreciate all the feedback. But on the other hand, I want to thanks a lot for taking time away from me from playing Tetris Effect or To the Top or any of these awesome games. Like maybe I want to try Transpose. Well, I can't because now I have to play Stunt Kite Masters. So thanks a lot. But if you're interested, I'm going to be streaming this monumental event on my Twitch page. It's just at playpsvr.com. Or not .com, just at PlayPSVR. I'm butchering this. And so I'm going to do it next Friday. So if you're listening to this episode, it'll be the Friday coming up approximately at 7 p.m. Eastern time so that I can play a good hour or so of Stunt Kite Masters and then talk about it on the podcast that we record next Friday. And so I can really talk about how unimpressed I am with the game. And I mean, I hope you stop by because my life is going to be miserable and Alex is going to join and he's going to pelt me with insults and try to brainwash me into thinking this game is actually good and worth playing. So thank you for the feedback. Thank you for the support. And please, I hope I see you on Friday because it's essentially Christmas come early for Alex.
Adam, I need you to hold on just for 1 second. I'm on the phone. Yeah, Mom. Yeah, this is Alex. I know we agreed to do Thanksgiving a week early, but something's come up. Yeah, if we can push Thanksgiving back to Saturday, yeah, that Friday I'm busy. Yeah, it's happening, Mom. Yeah, you're right. I know. No, Mom, calm down. Yeah. So if you can get the TV hooked up and we can get Twitch put on the Apple TV, so we can. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna bring the popcorn. Yeah. Adam. Thanksgiving is canceled in the Pegram house. We are going to watch you play Stunt Kite Masters VR as a family on the TV next Friday. It's going to be Central Time for us, 6 p.m. Oh, my goodness. I can't wait. Mom, Dad, everybody, it's happening. Tune in. I can't wait. This is the best day of my life is coming up. Best day of my life coming up.
For what it's worth, Alex's dad is cooler than he is, so suck on that.
She's excited. He's excited about it, too. We're all excited. This is great. Let's go to the sales. Adam, okay. Let's start with the sales. Go ahead. You start off.
Okay, so we're going to go back and forth like we typically do. You guys know how it's done. Archangel for $6 if you're a PlayStation Plus member. All of these will assume you're a PlayStation Plus member. Some of them you don't have to be, but we're rolling with it. Are you going to buy Archangel for $6 if you don't already have it?
I already have it, Adam. You should buy it for $6. Incredibly polished game. Get it. You're stupid if you don't. Adam, Rise of the Tomb Raider 20-year celebration, $11.99.
Yeah, no, that's not worth it. Yeah, don't do that. Don't be dumb. Loading Human Chapter 1, $8.
Tempted, but not going to do it. Flippy's Tesla, let's invent the future. Flippy's Tesla, let's invent skipping this one. Adam, Space Rift, Episode 1, $5.99.
Yeah. How about Episode 0? Because I ain't playing that crap.
I just want to point out Daniel Weissenberger listed that as one of his 3 games that are underrated. I bought it on his recommendation. I'll tell you how it is when I finally get around to playing it.
All right. May be a while because there's a lot of games you got to play, sir.
Yeah.
Anyhow, one of those games I'm going to take a guess isn't Eagle Flight, even though it's $6.60 on the PlayStation Store.
Funny you say that, Adam. I also purchased this game because it's the cheapest it's ever been, and I've always been interested in it. Adam, Werewolves Within for $6.59. Yay or nay?
It's a fun game, assuming people are online. I feel like at this point it's too big of a risk to assume that people will be online, so I think there are better options. I wouldn't buy it. Oh, I guess it's my turn, right? How about Radio G Racing Revolved? I almost butchered it like I did last week. $6. What do you think about this?
There's a lot of good $6 games on the list. I'm not going to do it this week. Adam, Invisible Hours, $11.99.
Yeah, that would be invisibly stupid of you if you were to buy that. Nah, I mean, I think it's a good game. It's interesting. I just found it boring, especially late in the experience. It's fuzzy as balls, as a Bear Cubs balls, so it's pretty fuzzy. I don't think to me, I wouldn't pay $12 for it. Sprint Vector, big ones. We love Servios, $12. You have it. Have you played it?
I have it. I should have played it by now. I paid more than $12, but I wouldn't buy it for $12 now if you've waited this long. Adam, Raw Data, $16.
It's a very good price. I just have too much stuff I want to play. I think if you did buy it, this is a good price, and I would make fun of you for it. But for me personally, I just can't do it. The American Dream, $10, Alex.
I'm going to stay away from it. I think you gave it a glorious 8 out of 10, Adam, but that's not going to sell it for me, so I'm not going to do it. Speaking of glorious ratings, The Walker for $9.99, Adam.
No. Maybe if it ever hits below 3, I'll do it because it does look nice, but nah. MLB Home Run Derby VR, $10.
No, Adam. Gran Turismo Sport, 1999.
JD Max is going to hate me for this, but I'm still not going to buy it. It's not worth it. To me, $20, I'll just play Wipeout because I already have it and it's a longer game. Code 51, how about $12?
I'm interested in this. You didn't like it. I'm going to say no.
It's slow. Yeah, good choice.
All right, Gnog, $9.99. Adam, what's it going to take to get you to play this game?
It being free. That's what it's going to take. Everest VR, I'm not even going to cover it because it's trash. Please don't waste your money. It's horrible. Trust me, it is horrible. Don't do it. Symphony of the Machine, though, $14. What do you think, Alex?
Hard pass. Electronauts, $13.99, Adam.
Here's the thing. That's a good price. It typically is $20. And so, like I said, it's not a game I'm going to buy because I'm not going to like it. But if you're a music guy, like, it's a good game. Everyone loves it. So I think it's something you should definitely consider if you haven't purchased it yet. How about Along Together? You played that one a while ago. It looks like a kid's game. It's $15. What are you feeling like?
If you finished Astrobot and you wore it out, and you finished Moss and you wore it out, and you're looking for some more like fun, cute third-person action, this might be up your alley. $15 is still a lot. In a post-Astrobot world, this game shouldn't be more than $9, so it's going to be a pass. Adam, Robinson the Journey for $180 apparently.
Well,
no,
unfortunately,
$50.
That's too bad. I only have $49.99 to spend. I don't have that $50. So, yeah, definitely, I'm not gonna buy. That's way too expensive. You've got to be kidding me. Like, how is that game still that much money? Come on, guys, what are you doing? Oh boy, I'm gonna be talking about paper dolls here shortly. That is, let me just tell you, $15.30 is the sale price. Don't buy it. Don't be a fool. Buy Home Sweet Home. Buy Resident Evil. Buy The Persistence. Do not play this game. It sucks. That's why I got. You're not going to buy it, are you, Alex?
I'm pulling the trigger. No, I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to buy it.
Good. Okay, so before we jump into Airing of Grievances, I just wanted to let all of our listeners know that if you check our Twitter page, we are going to give away a code for Tetris Effect. We're coming up with what devious way and how we want to give it away exactly. It's probably going to be something very simple, just like a retweet or something like that, or comment. I don't know. But that's going to be on our Twitter page. And I strongly encourage you, if you haven't purchased the game yet, to participate in that. Because like I mentioned, I actually purchased the game. We actually got the review code after Alex and I had already pre-ordered it. And, I mean, Alex is happy with it. I wish I hadn't purchased it. Although I still think it's a good game. It's a great game if it's free. But when it's not free, that's where I have some mixed feelings. So if you are on the fence, definitely look at our Twitter, follow us, and hopefully your luck will be, I guess you'll just be lucky, and you'll win the code. And then if it sucks, who gives a big whoop? So look out for that. Now let's talk about some of our favorite, maybe our favorite segment. I'm sure many of our fans' favorite segment, the Airing of Grievances, where we just let loose, drop our drawers, hang out with our wang out, and just tear into somebody. Alex, I'm going to let you go first because I feel like you got a little heated this week.
Yeah, something made me mad this week, and I wanted to remember it, so I did a little text to audio, and I just ranted into my phone when I was in the middle of traffic, and I tried to read the transcription of that. It makes absolutely no sense. That's how rabid and angry I was about this. I'll try to recreate that heat. I'm going to bring what I can, but we're going to be sensitive to people's opinions here, so I'm not gonna name names, but listen, you guys know who you are. Adam and I, we are putting out this PSVR podcast, and we are doing it with passion. You see, I'm a lifelong gamer. Adam's played a lot of games, and we understand how incredible PSVR is. This is, we're lucky to be alive in this era. PSVR is fantastic. You say what you want about the library, say what you want about the tracking, say what you want about games length or depth. There is quality stuff here, and there is awesome stuff coming out all the time. Adam and I don't have enough time to play all of these wonderful games, and you guys come along, you release your podcast, you're like, I can maybe do this once a month or something. There's just not that much to talk about. That is bullcrap. There are games coming out every week, except for this week. But there are games coming out every week that you can cover, that you can play. There is so much out there to enjoy because Adam and I are doing it every single week, and people are not listening to us. This is serious, man. PSVR is amazing. Virtual reality is amazing, and you guys do not give it the respect that it deserves. PSVR, it's fantastic. Oh my goodness. I'm not mad at you, PlayStation VR. I love you, PlayStation VR. I'm mad at these podcasts. I don't want to name names. I don't want to be that guy. But you guys know who you are. You're not taking this seriously. You're acting like you love it. You're acting like you respect it. You want to get the recognition, the credit for giving PSVR the attention that it gets. No, we are giving it the attention it deserves. We're giving it the respect it deserves. Do not come into our space and act like you are a PSVR gamer. You're just a person who maybe got a headset secondhand from somebody because you say, oh, it's kind of fun. It's a peripheral. It's not a peripheral, man. I'm going to say it. And I don't care what anybody thinks, Adam. PSVR is a lifestyle, man. We are living this life. We are living this virtual reality life. Don't come at me and act like it's just normal video games. I don't want to play games on my TV anymore, Adam. You convince me. You convince me, Adam. You look at me when I'm talking to you, Adam. You convince me. I don't want to play flat games anymore, man. I want to play VR games. I want to be in the VR world. Don't come at me with this flat crap. I don't care. What's up, Adam?
That's right. That's what I'm talking about. It really is kind of aggravating to me, too, when people say they're like professionals and they've got a professional opinion about VR games, and then you kind of look into their background and they've not played any VR games but like the really big ones.
Mm-hmm. People come out, they're talking about Astrobot, they talk about Tetris Effect, and they talk about Moss, and that's all. That's all they talk about. They have no idea what they're doing. Oh, my goodness, Adam, take this away from me.
That's right. I feel you, dude. And here's the thing. I don't respect you unless when you're a site that covers PSVR, you gotta play Astrobot and Moss, and you've gotta play Tetris Effect, but you also gotta play the bottom of the barrel bullcrap. You gotta play freaking Paper Dolls. You also play those sucky games too. Let me tell you what's burned my buns this week. So I was writing the Paper Dolls review, and I waited. Because I was like, I've mentioned how bad the controls are and how crappy the game is because of those controls. And I was like, okay, I'm going to hold back. And before I just tear them a new one in a review, I'm going to contact them, reach out, and say, is there going to be a patch? Is there going to be an update? Are you going to add snap turning or using the analog sticks? Are you going to change the way that you can control the game? Because if so, it's a completely different game, and I'm not going to completely rip you a new one in the review. Well, I am going to read you some of the reply that I received. So this reply is from Winking into Entertainment. They're the publisher for Litchi Games, who are the ones who put out Paper Dolls. So I want to clarify here that I support Winking Entertainment. I think they are good. They're the publisher of the game. They should be backing the games that they are publishing. And so they're not the ones at fault. It's Litchi Games. It's the people who developed this freaking game. So I contacted them and said exactly what I said before. Are there going to be patches or updates that fix this horrible game? And here is some of the reply that I received. I'm just going to read it off of the email that they literally sent me. So word for word, they said, Paper Dolls is designed to be challenging for both puzzle and movement. Okay, are you effing kidding me? They specifically designed it so that it was difficult to move. That is part of the design. How asinine and stupid is that? They also say that they support innovation. Well, let me tell you, if that's innovation, let me go back playing on my freaking Game Boy Color with that little stupid light that runs on battery, and I'll hide behind the cupboards near the dog biscuits, because that is not innovation. It freaking sucks. And then, further, they said, we did realize that this creative movement system adds another layer of excitement to the game. Honestly, the game will probably be less thrilling without it. Are you kidding? I thought it was a joke. The game will probably be less thrilling without it. Are you kidding me? The game is pure trash. I'm looking at my trash can right now, and if I look in there, I expect to see the controls for this game because it is so horrible. Like, they're admitting that the controls are that bad, and I don't understand it. They say, well, the game might be hard to play at first. It does get smooth and fun real quick. Real bull crap, It doesn't get smooth. It's not quick. It's not fun. What are you doing? Are you stupid? Because I don't want you listeners to do this because you shouldn't waste your time. I was like, am I nuts? So I went and I looked at other reviews. And literally every MFing review out there, anyone who's played this game has said controls suck, Big Nugget sucks. And everyone said that. And so every media outlet went to these people and said, hey, you freaking controls suck. I'm not going to play it. It's bad. No one's going to play it. And they are too stubborn and they're too stupid and lazy to change it. Like, I am not a developer. I don't know how to code and how to make games. But let me tell you what. To add the analog sticks to move and to add snap turning, I can almost guarantee you it isn't that much work. And they're not going to do it. So never, please, as a listener, never, ever buy this game. It is complete and utter filth. It is horrible. I cannot believe how, they're just not – I hate people who don't listen to gamers. You know what? I don't even give a crap. If you don't want to change your stupid, bad controls, enjoy your entire gross $45 of sales, you freaking phonies. You suck. And so does Paper Dolls. Don't buy it. F you guys.
I love that they said it adds to the innovation and the excitement of the game. It's like that time that I was on a long road trip with my family and I innovated on the road trip by ripping a nasty one in the back seat. And then when they complained about it, I was like, didn't it make things more exciting? Didn't it make things better?
It's more thrilling now, right?
Isn't it more thrilling that you can't breathe in this car?
Yeah, man. It's just like that.
So it's funny you say that. I should have mentioned this when we were talking about Transpose earlier, but your biggest gripe, like the biggest flaw of Paper Dolls, is that the controls are terrible. A minor gripe that people have with Transpose is that they're snap turning. And you know what? People told Secret Location that, and the first thing they said, we got a patch coming out later this week. We're going to fix that. We're going to add some smooth turning to this. We listen to you. We care. I can't believe it. Like the gall of the winking entertainment people to maybe it wasn't winking. Maybe it was the developers. The gall of the developers would be like, oh, it's innovation. It's probably harder to do that shoulder button walking to implement that than it was to implement analog sticks. I really don't get it because it looks like the game might be halfway decent if it had normal controls. I mean, it just reminds me, Adam, when we reviewed Ranch Planet and the developers of Ranch Planet were like, please don't say anything bad about the game until you talk to us. And so I talked to them about it and I was like, hey guys, you really need to fix this. And they were like, yeah, we're not going to fix that. I was like, all right, why did you? Okay, yeah, no, your game is bad. It's bad and you should feel bad. Oh, goodness.
Dude. I mean, the controls are so bad that if I had, in the middle of the night, rats come up into my bed and somehow, I don't know, I was in a deep sleep, and they gnawed off my entire leg up to where it's just a little stump, it would be easier to walk to the Grand Canyon than walk through the first freaking third of that stupid Paper Dolls game. It's so stupid. You guys suck. I really hope they don't sell any games. I hope no one... I mean, F me. F it. We'll do it live.
You heard it here first. Adam gives Paper Dolls an 8 out of 10.
No, I didn't. I gave it a 4.
All right. Well, that is good to get all that off our chest, Adam. But I think that does it for episode 40 of PlayPSVR, the podcast. I want to give a shout out to Michael S., who sent me an email. This week I was tired. I stayed up late to play Tetris Effect, and I didn't have the energy to continue with my day until I read the email from Michael S. I don't want to say your name in case you want to keep it secret, but man, you motivated me. You pushed me to new heights with that email. I love getting the feedback from the listeners telling me they like our podcast. They want to listen to it. I love getting the feedback that says they don't like it. I love hearing anything from you guys because it lets me know that I'm not out here talking out into the void, into the space. It lets me know that, I say it all the time. We are all connected, baby. So thank you, Michael S., for that uplifting email. It was a wonderful thing to brighten up my day. Yeah, play PSVR. Join our group on Facebook now. I'm posting the podcast there. If you want to listen to it there, you can comment on it. I can reply. Makes things easy for the both of us. Follow us on Twitter. We are at PlayPSVR. You might get Alex. You might get Adam. You might get a lot of fun. You might get nothing. Who knows what's going to happen there? You can read our reviews on our website, PlayPSVR.com. We like getting those clicks. When you read a review on our website, we can see, not exactly where you're coming from, but we can see the country. We might see the state, and that's kind of exciting for us. We got international listeners and readers. It's fantastic. I post the reviews on Reddit too. You can comment there. We'll get back at you there. It's fun to talk on there as well. It's not really supporting our website, but we like getting it out there. Please like and subscribe to us on YouTube. You can see some of our old streams there. I'm posting the podcast there too. Some people like to listen to podcasts on YouTube. I don't get it, but I don't judge. Do it. Comment. We'll respond. It's fantastic. We love talking to you guys. Leave us a review on iTunes because it makes fantastic things happen. It closes one chapter and opens a new chapter. Going to make Adam play Stunt Kite Masters VR. Going to postpone Thanksgiving so that we can have this worldwide event. So please continue to do that. I love getting the feedback. I love seeing them stars go up. You can give me 1 star. That's fine. 1 star is better than no stars. Give us any kind of review. It's fantastic. That being said, for Adam, I'm Alex. Thanks for listening to PlayPSVR, the podcast, episode 40, where virtual reality is our reality.